They needed to be good in the third period because the first two, they weren't. They fell behind 2-0 in the first period. In the second period, they only got 2 shots on goal. The good thing is one of them went in. You talk about the big goals and the fact the Islanders scored 3 straight in the third period. Don't forget about that Matt Martin goal in the second. That was a huge one.
Well, that was a big goal only for the fact that it got them into the game. Instead of being down maybe 3, they were only down 1, and a good job. And we've seen this happen so often with this line of Cizikas, Clutterbuck, and Matt Martin. They play such a simple, such a consistent, physical game, and they score big goals, Brendan. They don't score goals when it's 5 or 6-1, and they really don't need the goal. These guys go out and get goals when they need the goals the most, whether it's a goal to put them back into the game, whether it's a game winner or a tire. So these guys came through at a clutch time and gave their team an opportunity to go into the third period knowing that if they win a period, they're going to win a game.
Barry Trotz pressed a lot of different buttons during that third period as well, trying to find the right line combinations. He said he made up the line, and he did on the spot, putting Komarov on the ice with Lee and Eberle. They got the spark. 2 goals in 11 seconds, turned the whole game around.
It really did, and as a coach, when when you know your team's not going, you have to do something. You have to kind of change lines a little bit, get a little different focus, and a great play by Adam Pellet to get the puck towards the net, and Jordan Eberle with his head up, and then he gets his feet moving. And one thing Jordan does extremely well is when he gets an opportunity, a little hole, he'll drive to the net and he'll shoot it. And I don't know if it was a good goal or a bad goal, it found its way into the net, and that really started the ball rolling. And it's right off the bat again, the so-called fourth line. Plays the simple game again. Get in on the forecheck. Clutterbuck, a little bang. Cizikas wins the battle. Back to the point. Shot from the point. And now the Islanders lead 3-2. So the so-called fourth line comes up big. They've got what looks like the game winner going into the latter part of this game. However, Anders Lee is the one that's going to turn out. Nice simple play. Taves gets it up. Anders Lee, the best part of this, he follows the play up, drives towards the net, looks for a rebound, and it's right there. And then with the big, strong hands and the body, he's able to shove it past Jake. So tremendous effort by the captain. As Coach Trotz pointed out, captain said, I'm going to get it done. He did.
Islanders needed all of these goals as well. Eberle and Boychuk, 11 seconds between their goals. And then Anders Lee, his 15th of the season, leading the team in that category, gets the game winner. The Islanders needed them all because there was a couple of hairy moments in there, including a Tarasenko power play goal that was called back because it was kicked into the net, held up under video review. And then, of course, the late goal for Ryan O'Reilly that made things awfully interesting in the final second. So they needed every one of those goals tonight.
They really did. And St. Louis, give them credit. I mean, they did not quit, even when they kind of blew that 2-goal lead early, albeit earlier on in the game. And they found a way to make an awful good game. They could have gotten a tie, Brendan, and maybe won it in a shootout or overtime. So there are no easy wins, and it seems like there are no leads that are safe, especially when you pull the goaltender with, 3.5 minutes to go. And I was wondering, maybe that was a little early. Well, it took them a couple of minutes. They wore the Islanders down, but finally O'Reilly was able to get one in. But it's a tough league out there. There are no easy wins. And like we've been talking about, it doesn't matter how sometimes, it just matters if.
There's only one player the Islanders can look at and say he played well all 3 periods. That's the goaltender, Robin Lehner. He made some incredibly big saves in this hockey game, and it seemed like we talk about big saves. Yes, they're difficult, but the timing of them, too. He came up big when they needed it.
Well, that's the most important factor in any goaltender, as far as I'm concerned. It's not necessarily how many saves, it's when you make those saves. And Robin Lehner, a couple of good opportunities when the Blues could have broke the game wide open. There's a nice play by Barbashev as he makes the save, and then another quick one in by the Islanders, by the Blues. So they really drove towards the net, made life extremely difficult for Robert Leonard. But he just was, like I said, he's so focused right now, so full of confidence, loves the way he's playing the game, and he just sort of defying the odds by saying, hey, I don't care where my position is, I'm going to find a way to make a save, even if I'm a little bit hurt, because I got run into. He's going to make the big save when the team needed it, and he was really good tonight.
You see what Robin Lehner has done over his last 10 games. Points in 9 of them, wins in 7 of them. Absolutely remarkable as he picks up the win in a 29-save performance. The Islanders were outshot 32-14 in this game, but still find a way to win their 6th consecutive game. They also found a way to win their 5th consecutive game, or at least their 5th game this season, 4th consecutive game, Butch, when trailing 2-0 in this game. This team doesn't quit.
No, it really doesn't, and the voice really since the start of the season is find the structure, trust your structure, and you're always going to be in the game. Even if you're not playing as well as you ought to be, you're always going to be in the game. And I think tonight was a really good indication of the Islanders struggling most of the night, but they did enough good things with their structure. They didn't panic, they didn't start throwing the puck all over the place, and they didn't stop skating. They continued to try and play a very solid game, and that kept them in the game. And of course, having Robin Leonard back there whenever they didn't was certainly equal to the task. So that's the most important lesson, you know, we're seeing this Islander team learn as they continue to go along through this season, is that never give up, don't change your game, believe it's good enough, and good things will happen.